Good morning. Today I want to talk about something that relates to the way that we live our lives and the way that we are consistent with everything. And what made me think of this was that I started to realize that if we were, let's say, really organized at work, chances are work wasn't the only place that we were really organized. Chances are we were really organized, in our homes, with our families, with dates and things like that. And and things seem to kind of, go in the same pattern. The same goes through when we're, for example, playing a sport. If we are doing an activity, we are not going to be really lazy doing a sport that we love and then be really dedicated and committed to something else. So, the way that we treat certain things and our attitude towards those things are reflective of what we do with them. And we are consistently late, for example, to appointments. We are consistently on time, regardless of the appointment. So if we're going to be late to the doctor's office, chances are we're going to be late to work. We're going to be late to any other event. But if we're consistently on time, then we are, reliable and predictable even in that way, but that consistency shows through in every aspect of our life. So if we are diligent with the maintenance of our car, for example, chances are we are diligent with, going to the doctor or taking on other responsibilities because we are proactive, for example, in our approach to dealing with those kinds of situations. And we would rather just deal with it right now instead of waiting for, things to go really, really wrong. So, what I was thinking about is that, there are so many aspects of our lives that are out of our control, but also ultimately in our control. And being consistent, regardless of what it relates to or how it impacts us, is, vital to how the world sees us. And it is a message that we give to everyone around us, whether we intend to or not. If we're consistently up at 4:30 in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, we are essentially telling the world what to expect. And we are either a late riser, early riser, we like to stay up late, what have you. There are certain things that we become consistent in. And one of the things that we need to do, especially if we are changing habits and changing the way that we are doing things, and I need to do this for myself as much as everybody else, is that we need to be consistent. We need to keep the schedule and stay structured. And when we are doing that with something new, especially a new lifestyle change, for example, then it becomes a part of what we do when we don't naturally have to incorporate into our lives. It's a habit at that point, and it's almost second nature. So my question to you is, are there things that you are less consistent about that you need to improve on, and or are there things that you are consistently doing at the right time, and yet you still feel that part of your life is a little distracted in some ways? If you can become consistent, regardless of what it is, whether it is putting your dish in the dishwasher, whether it is making sure that as soon as your check engine light, oil light comes on, that you get your car to the dealership and you get it checked. Being consistent makes your life less chaotic because you're not scrambling around. You are not trying to figure out what's going to happen this day or that day because you kind of have a pattern. You've created that for yourself. And in doing so, you are showing people what to expect. Consistency makes life less chaotic. It is a way to continuously do things and still be in order and things like that. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some times in life when it doesn't matter how consistent we are, there are going to be those surprises that pop up, and we need to be spontaneous, and we need to be able to go with the flow. Generally speaking, I'm a consistent girl. I am one of those ones that I will be where I say I'm going to be at the time that I say I'm going to be there. And that's one of the things that makes me predictable and reliable. And for some people, that's really great. Um, but there are times too when I've had to adjust my plans and, forego something because plans changed or I needed to, somehow work something out. But think about how you are consistent or you have this lack of consistency. Do you have a set schedule? Do you do things this way? Is there a certain thing that you need to do so that you stay going in the same direction? Think about that over the next couple of weeks because me posting a video blog every Tuesday is me being consistent. Wishing you all a great week. Have a good one.